Madam Speaker, later this week, tens of thousands of Americans will travel to D.C. to take part in the 48th March for Life. They will not be alone. Across the country, Americans will march to their state capitals in protest of the Roe v. Wade decision. This march is a celebration of life. It is a march full of joy. It is inspiring. It is peaceful and is welcoming to all who wish to attend. Today, it continues to be the largest annual human rights demonstration in the world. The goal is simple: to celebrate life with the hope that one day we live in a world where every life is celebrated, valued, and protected. This year's theme is Equality Begins in the Womb. As Jean Mancini, president of the March for Life, said best, quote, "Our country continues to advance along the path to a more just society. We cannot ignore the discrimination that's taking place against vulnerable unborn babies," end quote. In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson penned three unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As members of Congress, it's our job to uphold those rights. Since coming to Congress in 2009, I'm proud to be a strong proponent of standing for life and giving a voice to the voiceless. Many of my colleagues have introduced legislation to advance the pro-life causes. I'm proud to co-sponsor many of these bills, including the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, the Defund Planned Parenthood Act, the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act, the Sanctity of Human Life Act, the Protecting of the Dignity of the Unborn Children Act, and the Life at Conception Act. In addition, I proudly stand on this House floor advocating for these policies and thwarting any attacks on the unborn. Madam Speaker, our country is at a turning point. Right now, we are experiencing the most pro-abortion administration in our history. For the first time in over 4 decades, Democrats removed the Hyde Amendment from legislation. This amendment is a bipartisan agreement which prevents direct taxpayer funding of abortion and is supported by 77% of Americans. As pro-abortion advocates continue to try to stifle one of our unalienable rights, I know this House will continue to work tirelessly at the federal level to put the health and safety of women and children first. As long as the cloud of abortion looms over our country, we must continue to be the shining light for those who cannot defend themselves. Now, I'm proud of the brave women, men, and children who will travel to Washington this week. We must always be a voice for the voiceless, and we must continue to build a culture that values life and respects mothers and their children. Ahead of this year's march, I stand here and redouble my commitment to protecting the most vulnerable among us.